Hey, this is going to be kind of a short episode. For those of you who are new to the channel, this is just basically a personal vlog. I tend to bounce around between gear and success strategies, maker stuff, desk remodels, kind of whatever comes to mind. So feel free to stay and see what else we've been talking about. But this one, we're going to talk about the DJI OSMO Pocket for vlogging. Now, I'm going to show you what the setup I have looks like in the sort of the cheapest way possible. So you kind of see it. There you are. Look at how cute you are. Let me see if I can get one. All right, good. So I'll put some still photos in of the setup as well. But now what's really interesting about this is this camera as a vlogging camera, I think, is probably going to be one of the big stories of the first half of 2019. So as you can see, it does some face tracking, so it gives you that second shooter kind of thing. And I used to vlog, or I've been vlogging with my iPhone. So I have a great car mount, and I tend to vlog when I'm in the car because it's when I kind of don't have anything else going on and I can just talk. And I usually use the iPhone. The problem with using my iPhone for a vlog camera is I can't simultaneously be using it as an iPhone. So I have to put it in airplane mode so that I don't get a call that interrupts it. I can't use my iPhone for navigation and do that. I can't check on a client. I can't keep my eye on incoming status messages. And what I found was there were a lot of opportunities to vlog that I didn't take because I didn't want to sort of have to wall off my smartphone to use it as a camera. So that became a little bit of a problem. So I tried carrying a GoPro around for a while, a Hero 7, but that didn't work out. It's bulky, it's not really useful for a ton of things. The screen is on the wrong side. So that sort of failed me. And then I picked up the DJI OSMO Pocket, which is essentially the gimbal off of a DJI drone, put on a stick. They put a battery on it, they put a little screen on it, and for vlogging, this thing is almost perfect, even as is, though there are improvements I could want. You can see yourself, it focuses pretty well, the little active track does a good job. It is super small. You can, again, you can see yourself in the screen, and no one really gives this thing a second look. Yeah, some people will notice it because it's a gimbal and that's cool, but I have, pulled this thing out to shoot quick interviews. I've pulled it out to shoot a lot of B-roll. I've put it on the Peak Design camera strap I have for my backpack, and I walk through the World Trade Center with it, and I'll go ahead and insert some of that footage here. And, the awesome thing about doing it that way was you didn't get a lot of people stopping and looking at you for doing it. It just was very subtle and natural, which was nice. Now, that's really kind of intriguing. The vlogging world tends to divide into a couple of camps, right? There's what I would think of as vlogs of opportunity, maybe. Those of us who tend to use phones and action cameras. And really the core item for us is that our vlogging setup should not be like a whole thing to pull out. Now, you get other guys, you get your Neistats, you get your McKinnons. These guys are seriously vlogging, right? And they don't mind carrying a big SLR or mirrorless camera out on that Gorilla Pod, and it's very obvious that they're vlogging. And I don't know what these guys do to keep their arms balanced, but that arm that they use for that camera has got to be, totally pumped up. And their work looks great. The footage is undeniably incredible. And, look, this is what these guys do. And it's very tempting when you're not doing that kind of vlog to fall into that trap and look at your vlogs and go, wow, if I'm not shooting on, Canon EOS R or a 6D Mark II or something, that I'm sort of failing as a vlogger. And that's not working out. It didn't work out for me. I tried switching over to a G7. Now, I love my G7 experiment because it led me to the GH5 and the GH5S, which is what I use to vlog with when I'm home. or if I'm going to be going out to a park and I'm bringing camera gear anyway. But for just something that I have with me all the time, I think we're having a hard time thinking of a better setup than the Osmo Pocket. Now, there are a lot of other reviews online that go deeply into the technical specs, that are sort of breaking it down in its technical capabilities. But for me, for this conversation, what I wanted to let you guys know is, if you're a vlogger and you want a camera that you can just keep with you, that looks great, that does a lot of what you need it to do, I think this is the right answer. Right now, I can't think of a camera that I get more use out of. You know, I had a Sony RX100 Mark maybe 3 I played around with for a little while. I borrowed. I thought maybe a small point and shoot was going to be the answer for this kind of thing. But no, even that, it wasn't something I carried with me all the time. When it's closed down and in the case, this thing is super small, and it's very, very little effort, at least the way I have my EDC set up, my everyday carry, to just keep this with me kind of all the time. So yeah, that was a little bit of a gear discussion on the DJI Osmo Pocket. What would I improve on this? There's a couple of things. I would love it if the quarter 20 connector was built in. I think it's a little bit of a miss to have to put a clamp around this thing to be able to put it on, you know, any sort of selfie stick or tripod or extension. I think it's a miss that there's no wireless capability built in. Being able to plug it into my iPhone is fine, but it really needed Bluetooth so that I could at least update the settings and make those changes from my phone without having to plug it in. I had to buy a little extension because this thing won't plug into my phone when my phone is in my case, and I'm not going to take my phone out of my case just to, you know, change from 60 to 30 frames without losing Pro Tune. So there's a little bit of a, you know, I think, hey, come on, baby. There you go. There's a little bit of a problem with that, and as you saw, on rare occasions, it can lose face track. So that's a little bit of an annoyance, but certainly it's a lot easier than, heck, you know, every mirrorless and SLR, you know, will lose focus or something. Like everybody has, the struggle is real, as they say. So the quarter 20 thing should be on board. Wireless should be on board. Maybe not Wi-Fi, but definitely Bluetooth, at least for settings changes. For that matter, I should be able to change many of my settings without having to go off to a phone at all. I would like to be able to sort of pick where it puts me when it's doing the face tracking. I would like to, I don't know, there's probably a couple others. I'm not overly thrilled with the way they did the accessory mounting on this. I get what they were going for with that sort of slide in, slide out attachment gig. I don't necessarily know that that's really the right answer, but at this price point, I don't think you can argue too much with the fact that this is just a fantastic all-around camera. Is it a bummer for vlogging that it's not inherently more water resistant, and am I going to carry around sort of a waterproof bubble case for it? Probably not. Does that mean I would have been able to vlog in a hurricane with a GoPro and I won't be able to do it with this? I guess that's true. My iPhone's a little more water resistant, obviously, than this, but I don't know that I'm going to be standing there in the rain vlogging away. So yeah, sort of as an arm's length vlogging camera, this is pretty good. And I wish the lens was a little bit wider. I think we're a little tight. I'd like to see something a little bit wider, but then again, I'm shooting at 4K, so I can always, you know, go ahead and play with some of that framing. Anyway, DJI Osmo Pocket, if you're the kind of vlogger who just wants to be able to have something with you and, you know, throw it up and talk to an audience whenever you want, I think this is the right answer. You know, you can plug it into the side of your phone. You can use it for a live stream, I think, if you needed to. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm loving this thing. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys later. Feel free to go check out through my back catalog. I talk about a lot of different topics, and you will find in the links below, if you follow through that I have other vlogs on other topics. So feel free to check those out as well. Take it easy, everybody.